It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back as we continue to celebrate, to revel in World Oceans Day. Should be every day, but today is that special day, and this year's theme is titled Life and Livelihoods, which I love. It combines the ecology with the socio-economic impact of our oceans, certainly two things that have been affected by the pandemic as well, and we have a 9-time South African surf champion. That's crazy. Successful businesswoman and the founder of the Roxy Davis Foundation NPO joining us in studio to talk about how they are using the ocean to heal lives. Another layer, an emotional layer. You've changed, you know, you've changed as well. Both of you have changed so much.
Enough time. I'm still warm, still feeling that.
Yeah, I'm glad you had the opportunity to kind of loosen up and get us into the mode, but now we're going to talk business because this is your business.
Yeah, and an incredible foundation, which I love the work you guys are doing, but for everybody that doesn't know about it, using the ocean for such a beautiful cause, what exactly is this mission about?
Well, the mission for me started 25 years ago when I entered the ocean and it changed my life. But what we really are doing is we're breaking down the barriers to entry. For individuals with a disability, physical, intellectual, cognitive or sensory disability, they really can't do the things that we are doing. So just the simple thing of going down to the beach, touching the sand, being in the ocean for the first time is something that a lot are not able to actually experience. So we're giving them that opportunity to be weightless in the ocean and experience out of a wheelchair and being able to move again.
Flying again almost, if you think about it, yeah?
I had the opportunity to go with a gentleman well into his 90s to step on a beach for the first time. And it was and Cape Town gave us one of the most kind of elemental days, waves of mass, and it was so emotional just to be a part of that experience. When you look at adaptive surfing in particular, I think this is where the magic really does happen. And I'm sure it's changed you and dealing with paralysis, cerebral palsy, blindness, autism, amputations. It really does become an amazing tool in that sense. How has this affected you, changed you, and most importantly, the people that you've been kind of allowing to enter into this process?
It's quite incredible for me. I get emotional even just talking about it because it's the joy that I vision on their faces of those surfers and the lives that they're changing. But not just the surfers' lives, the volunteers' lives that are participating, the family members that are getting to spend 5 minutes on the beach, you know, enjoying a hands-free moment or being in the water with their young surfers as well. So when we started, we thought it was the participants or the surfers themselves, but it's created this movement that's just bigger than what I'd ever anticipated in terms of changing lives.
Community.
I mean, the fact that you're talking about changing lives goes to the extent of you actually doing research to essentially prove that or see the efficacy of that. I mean, in terms of surf as a therapy, what research has kind of like come through from the surface, so to speak, or bubbled up to the surface that really shows positivity to this being a perfect form of therapy?
It's really interesting that you asked that question because when I started looking into, I could visibly see the difference in what's happening to our surfers in their lives. And I started, you know, digging deeper into the research, and globally, there's very little research. There's more happening in the last 2 years now. But initially there was, you know, hardly any. I think there were about 13 research papers worldwide when I had started my research journey 2 years ago. And I'm doing a master's in disability studies through UCT. And
Of course you are. Of course you are.
Just add that to that list, man.
And we're looking at the benefits of surf therapy for children in the Western Cape that have disabilities. And we're really just exploring the areas of significant change in their lives. And we're interviewing their parents and their practitioners, so teachers, OTs, physios, to see what the outcomes are going to be. Because it's so new, we have no idea. But we're 4 weeks into the actual practical side of our surf therapy now, so we run every Friday afternoon. And I cannot believe what I'm seeing, and I can't wait to document it.
Yeah, there is science there that is going to, I think, highlight the importance. And again, it reinforces just another layer as to why we should be protecting the ocean as a resource, yes. But it starts to unlock potential. Like you say, that hands-free moment. What does that mean for those parents to be able to let go for a second in that space? And for those children, you kind of think that a child, because they are dealing with a physical disability, they're often locked in their own body. If you can unlock that, allow their mind to be free, that's amazing. You've mentioned volunteers, so I'm guessing that's one area that you need help. How else can people help you in your mission, your drive?
So our foundation is a non-profit organization. We've actually just got our Section 18A certificate. So in terms of our needs, essentially volunteers, we always need volunteers in the water, but we really just need the funding to continue to operate. So getting our surfers from Gugulethu and Khayelitsha into the ocean, that takes, transportation, upskilling our volunteers and our surf coaches to be, water safe in the water. And all of that really essentially takes funding. So getting the life jackets, getting the helmets, continuing to grow to be able to offer this to more and more surfers. We have a waiting list of over 150 surfers wanting to participate, and our only limitation right now is the capacity in terms of funding and support.
So you want to do it properly. When you do it, I guarantee you there is a corporate right now that is sitting there, that has just had a light bulb moment, that has the funding, that has the budget that needs to be spent right now, and this is what you need to focus on. We're going to keep those details right up here. roxydavis.co.za is where you can get a wealth of information, find out what this incredible human being is doing in the world, and maybe this could become your passion project. But we need the funds, we need volunteers, and we need the mindset to change.